You wanted her back so badly, it became the only thought you had. You replayed conversations, rewrote texts you never sent. You woke up at 3 a.m. with her name already in your head, before you even remembered why it hurt. Then one day, you didn't. Not because you found someone else. Not because you forced yourself to move on. Not because time simply healed you the way people said it would, but because something shifted so quietly inside you that you almost didn't notice it happening. Most men never get there, and the ones who do don't fully understand why it happened. This is why it happened. When a man gets rejected or loses a woman he wanted, the world gives him a very specific script to follow. Hit the gym, stay busy, glow up, post the results, make her regret it. And that advice isn't wrong, but it is dangerously incomplete, because the men who follow that script, the ones grinding every day with quiet fury, are still doing every single thing for her. Every rep in the gym is a message they're rehearsing. Every new achievement is a photo they're imagining her seeing. Every "I'm doing great" is a performance being staged for an audience of one, who may not even be watching anymore. That's not healing. That's a different shape of the same obsession. And here's what no one tells you about obsession. It doesn't end when you become impressive. It ends when you become indifferent. Those are not the same thing, not even close. Psychologists at the University of Michigan who study emotional detachment and romantic loss found something that surprised the research community. The men who recovered fastest from rejection were not the ones who replaced the relationship. They were the ones who replaced the need, a completely different thing. A separate study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology went even deeper into the neuroscience of romantic longing. What they found was striking. The brain processes unresolved romantic attachment using the same neural pathways as substance addiction. The craving isn't for the person. The craving is for the certainty that person represented. Think about what that means. When you say, "I want her back," you're not really saying you want her. You're saying, "I want to feel chosen again. I want to feel certain again. I want to feel like enough again." She was never the answer. She was the signal that the answer existed somewhere inside you. And the moment you find that answer on your own, the craving dissolves. Not because you stopped caring about her, but because you stopped needing her to care about you. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years before neuroscience had the tools to confirm it. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and became one of the most studied philosophers in history, wrote something that should be tattooed on every man's wall. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the opinions about things. You were never grieving her. You were grieving the version of yourself that existed when she chose you. That version felt certain. That version felt wanted. That version felt like enough. And when she left, she didn't take herself. She took that feeling. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The rejection was never a wall. It was always a door. The men who understand that stop trying to get her back. They start trying to get themselves back. And those are completely different journeys. Only one of them leads somewhere real. Here's the paradox that no one warns you about. And I want you to sit with this one for a moment. The men who genuinely stop wanting her back are not the men who gave up. They're not weak. They're not cold. They're not numb. They are the men who finally became so invested in their own becoming that maintaining the obsession simply stopped making sense. They didn't choose to stop caring. They got too busy becoming to notice when the caring quietly faded. And the cruel irony, the part that will stay with you. That is the exact version of you she would have chosen if she had met him first. Not because he's playing games, not because he went silent on purpose, not because he manufactured mystery, but because he is genuinely, completely, inconveniently full. Full men don't chase. Full men don't perform. Full men don't check her stories at midnight, hoping she noticed they stopped watching. A full man has a life that is already too interesting to pause for someone who didn't choose to be part of it. He simply continues. And everything about the way he moves makes it obvious. Before you close this video, I need to give you a warning, because everything I just described is going to tempt you to turn it into a strategy. You'll think, okay, I'll act indifferent. I'll pull back. I'll become the full man, and then she'll notice. And the moment you think that, you've already failed, because authentic indifference cannot be performed. It cannot be scheduled. It cannot be aimed at anyone. The brain, her brain, your brain, detects manufactured detachment immediately. It feels like desperation wearing a costume, and it will destroy the very thing you're trying to build. Here's what real detachment actually looks like. It's the man who stops texting her, not because he read that silence creates attraction, but because he genuinely found something more worth his time. It's the man who goes to the gym, not to look better for her, but because he made a commitment to himself that he refuses to break. It's the man who builds, creates, and grows, not as a message to her, but as a conversation with the man he's becoming. The Stoics didn't say, pretend nothing matters. They said, find what actually does. And when you find it, when you're genuinely building towards something, the need for her approval doesn't just fade. It becomes irrelevant. If something in this video landed differently than you expected, if you found yourself thinking about a specific moment, a specific choice, a specific version of yourself that you lost somewhere along the way, that feeling is important. Don't dismiss it. The next video reveals the exact psychological moment when a man transitions from reacting to his past to building his future. And more importantly, why most men miss that window entirely without ever knowing it opened. Stay stoic.